Hello, everybody out there, and welcome back to another edition of the Exposed Turnbuckle. I'll be covering the Smackdown review. Initially, what I thought on it, I thought it was an average show. I think that Raw definitely won again. And when it came to the superstar shakeup, it was more like a superstar kidnapping. Because Raw got a lot of goodies and SmackDown really didn't get a lot. SmackDown opens up with a clean cut Kevin Owens, and I don't know, he looked kind of weird. He says, "Welcome to the Kevin Owens show." Picks on the Boston fans, says, starts talking shit about how the Canadians always whoop our ass every year. He said that he's not really worried about anybody in the crowd, that he could destroy anybody in the crowd and he can destroy anybody in the back as well. Then Corbin comes out and he says that, well, since he's owed a title shot, and since Ambrose is gone and Owens has the title, and then he pauses for like a good 10 seconds. It kind of looked like he forgot his line, but we'll give him some slack on that one. And then he goes, "Well, then I guess I'm going to have to beat you down and take it." Alright, then Sami Zayn's music hits, and Sami Zayn is finally down on SmackDown. And so Owens goes, "Oh man, I can't believe it. Like, you cannot be here right now." And then AJ Styles comes out and he says that it's not about the underdog from the underground to Sami Zayn. He says it's not about the lone wolf, and it's sure as hell not the Kevin Owens show. And he says that it's all about AJ Styles. Then Daniel Bryan's music hits. He comes out and he announces the number one contenders match between Styles, Zayn, and Corbin to see who will be the number one contender for the United States Championship. My view on this is, everyone got their wish. Sami Zayn is now on SmackDown, so throughout the show, he really wasn't getting a lot of love from the crowd. I feel like they probably could have come in with somebody a little less popular than AJ Styles. I mean, whoever you put against AJ Styles, obviously the crowd is going to be pro AJ. So I think they may have slipped up a little bit here. It was nice to see him get an immediate main event push, which is pretty much what everyone's wet dream was about Sami Zayn, the underdog. Like, he's like the guy version of Bayley. So yeah, Sami Zayn's going to get his shot, and he's going to have to go through Corbin. All right, next up we had Randy Orton taking on Eric Rowan. It's a pretty quick match. Eric Rowan gets in a little bit of offense, and then Orton hits him with that DDT off the middle rope, and then he's stalking him for the RKO, and then a Bray promo hits. Basically, Bray was just saying that, he's everywhere, and he can't wait to get him into the House of Horrors. And then it cuts to the match. Orton chases Rowan on the outside. Rowan hits him with steel steps, and then he delivers a kind of rock bottom-esque finisher in the middle of the ring. I don't know. I mean, you can't. I would say be careful with the Bray Wyatt promos. It's getting you're doing it a lot. In order to keep it special, you do it every once in a while. You can't do it literally every single segment where he just interrupts matches and all that stuff, because it loses its spice. It's not cool to see if it happens every single week. I hope it just gets over with. And Bray obviously loses because Randy's still on SmackDown and Bray went to Raw, so Bray's probably going to lose that. And honestly, nobody's really going to give a shit. It's kind of be a throwaway match. Like I said, nobody's really feeling Orton. I mean, he had to yell to Boston and say, "What's up, Boston?" And us from Boston, we, if you challenge us for a crowd or a pop or something, you pretty much always get it. We're pretty easy like that. But I don't know. It was a curious move to take it off Bray. I mean, I guess it makes sense in hindsight if they were planning on moving Bray all along. But why even put it on him? Alright, next up we got Team Alpha facing the Usos for the Tag Team Championships. This was a really good match. When they were both individually being announced, they both got, a lukewarm reaction. They both got more cheers than boos. Some cool spots in this match was the Alphas hit a dual bridge suplex. Then Chad Gable hits a beautiful moonsault. I mean, this thing was picture perfect. Just very well done. It was very clean. And then the strange segment happened. So Chad Gable was fighting on the outside. He gets rolled in, and then Jimmy hits the top rope, tries to hit a splash, and then Gable gets his knees up, and then he hits him into an inside cradle. And I swear to God, dude, I watched this like 5 to 10 times, probably more on the 10 side of it back to back of the count. And I swear to God, the referee counted three. I heard three thuds on the mat. I saw his hand go up and down 3 times and hit the mat. So I don't know if it was a glitch in the show or if somebody just straight muffed it, but yeah, Alpha should have won right there. So, I mean, maybe they're hoping that nobody catches that, but I caught it and I saw it. I'm surprised that a lot of other people, I mean, especially like Boston, like something like that would definitely be something that would irritate us. And um, I'm surprised not a lot of boos. So Jordan lifts Jimmy onto his shoulders in the middle of the ring, and then Chad Gable leaps from the top rope, and then he hits this perfect bulldog. It was really sick. And then your finish was that Jay hit a splash on Gable to retain the titles. After the match was over, the Shining Stars start attacking American Alpha, and Boston boos the fuck out of them. So I guess that this definitely displayed American Alpha's talents. They are really technically sound. They are enjoyable to watch. It's curious that they don't really get as much pop as they did. The Usos and American Alpha work really well together. This is probably the match of the night. I would assume. The referee. I'm pretty sure you got that 3 count. You did, and I saw it and I heard it. And if you have Smackdown tape, you should go back and watch it because the American Alpha definitely won the tag team. Maybe it'll be a storyline going forward. Maybe they'll see it and they'll play on it. Or maybe it was meant to be like that all along, and then they cut a promo like, "Oh, look, we got the 3. Like, you have to give us another shot." But as far as the Shining Stars go, obviously their other gimmick wasn't working, so they also turned heel. They just had no shirts on, and they were just in plain jeans. Boston wasn't feeling it. I'm sure the wrestling community isn't feeling it. But it's kind of like the same thing with TJ Perkins. They're just kind of fading into the background, not really being used all that much. So then we have another breaking, super cool announcement. Jinder Mahal is now on SmackDown, and enjoy that. And then, so Jinder Mahal comes out, and he'll be facing Mojo Rawley in Boston. Are you getting it? Are you getting it? It's right there. You just gotta grab it. Basically, it was a quick match. It was basically only there to involve Gronk, who was behind the announcer's table. The action goes that way. Jinder falls on the guardrail, and Gronk epically throws his beer all up in his face. It was a solid one. And then Mojo Rawley. So Jinder gets rolled back into the ring, and then he heads into the corner, runs from the other post parallel to Jinder, and then he runs and hits a smash forearm. It was kind of like a haluva kick, and he goes, yeah, and then he pins him 1, 2, 3. My overall thought of the match is it was clearly just a spot to involve Gronk in. And like I said, Jinder Mahal is getting some airtime. He wrestled twice this week. So, I mean, you know that somebody in the back likes Jinder, so we'll see what happens with that. Alright, then we come back from a commercial and the SmackDown women are being announced. Naomi comes out, then Natalya comes out, then Carmella comes out. Becky Lynch, still wearing that Pocahontas outfit. Oh man, dude, that is so good. Like, she was always a really good wrestler, but her outfit was just so lame. It was almost like granny. The new Pocahontas thing is good. You know, it's not too revealing. You know, she can still be kid friendly, but wow, like so good. Shane's in the middle of the ring with all the ladies. He congratulates Naomi on the win, and then Ellsworth goes, "She's not a good champion. That's stupid. Everyone only comes to SmackDown to see Carmella and me, Carmelsworth, I believe he said." And then Naomi says, "Carmella, you better control your side chick before she gets chin checked." This was hot. It was funny. Shane starts trolling the crowd, saying that we are going to add another woman to this roster. Her dad is a Hall of Famer. She is super athletic, you know, trolling that it's going to be Charlotte. And then he goes, "I'd like to bring you Tamina." And then the crowd's like, "What the fuck?" And so I guess it was a good laugh. It was a good troll on us. Tamina comes out, mean mugging everybody, doesn't say anything, shakes Shane's hand, and then Shane goes, he's climbing out of the ring, and then the crowd starts chanting, "We want Charlotte." And so he goes, "Well, you know, I thought you guys must have thought I was thinking about somebody else. Maybe I was." And then he reveals that Charlotte is now on Raw. All right, and then we come back from break, and then Ty Dillinger has a match with Aiden English. So as we know, his partner Simon Gotch got released. So now he's going to have to do it on his own. And I always thought that this guy was talented. It's kind of like the Breezango thing with Tyler Breeze. He's kind of cut the dead weight and just let the guy fly on his own. I think if given a chance, he could do a good job. So we shall have to see. This was a pretty quick match. Not a lot of stuff going on. Ty hits a tiebreaker for the win. He taunts him with a lot of tens. Boston crowd is going crazy, shouting 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Extreme amounts of 10. Just craziness. Like this guy, he was definitely over. I'm not the biggest fan of Ty Dillinger, but he's alright. I would like to see him in in a longer match. Didn't really seem like there was a lot of airplay for the matches tonight, and it's a shame because I would have liked to have seen a lot of the matches go on just a little bit longer. Alright, come back from commercial, and then Shinsuke Nakamura's music hits, and he comes to the ring, and Dolph Ziggler is already in the ring. So Dolph Ziggler goes, "I don't know who you are, but, you know, I'm Dolph Ziggler." And so he goes, "I don't even know who you are." And then Boston crowd starts doing the Nakamura theme music. And then the Boston crowd starts doing the Nakamura theme music. And then Shinsuke goes, "You want to know who I am? I'm Shinsuke Nakamura." And so Ziggler backs off, and then Shinsuke does his "Come on." And then Ziggler rolls out of the ring. So this is twice that Nakamura has come out, hasn't really done much, hasn't really said much, and then just kind of interrupted people, and then they just faded into the background. Kind of seems like they're just using him as kind of like a show. Like, oh, look, it's Shinsuke Nakamura, but we're not actually going to use him in a match until it's important, like a pay-per-view. Um, if it, I think that this would be a good feud for Nakamura if Ziggler indeed stays around. Because once again, it would be the same thing as the Raw, where Ziggler gets a relevant storyline and Ziggler is a heel. I say heel because I don't buy it. Don't really believe that he's a bad guy. just got like he could be like a douchebag, but he's couldn't be like he'll never have that Kevin Owens style. So I don't know, Dolph. How's that heel thing working out for you? Um, Ziggler is a good seller. He's a good worker. He'll make Shinsuke look good, and he will put Shinsuke over for the casuals to display all of Shinsuke's talents. That if you don't watch NXT, um, when I got back into WWE, I watched SmackDown and Raw, but I didn't really watch NXT all that much. I have watched all the takeovers for probably about like the last 5 months, and I have gotten to see Shinsuke, and he is truly as advertised. He is a talent, he is a superstar, he draws money, and he's just enjoyable to watch. Alright, and then we pan to the big screen, and they announced that the New Day will be arriving on SmackDown soon. It's a breath of fresh air for the New Day. The New Day have pretty much run through everybody on Raw, so there's nothing more for them to do. So a good change of scenery is always welcome. Promos of Sami Zayn, typical underdog shit. We're gonna do this. I want to do the impossible. Blah blah blah. You know, just your standard freaking underdog crap. And now it's time for the main event, and AJ Styles will go against Baron Corbin and Sami Zayn to determine who will be the number one contender for the United States Championship. This was a pretty good match. It was a good main event. Some notable spots was they were all taking turns sitting in opposite corners and someone running in the middle, and they would either hit a lariat or a boot, or they would counter and they would flip and flop, and it was a really good sequence. That was really creative. Ultimately, Sami Zayn hits another Blue Thunder Bomb for a 2 count. Like, he should just name the Blue Thunder Bomb 2 count. And Sami Zayn with the 2 count. 1, 2. Oh, just I knew it. Only a 2 count for the 2 count. So ultimately, the finisher is Sami Zayn hits a haluva kick on Corbin on the outside, which leaves his back turned, and then AJ Styles hits the phenomenal forearm to become the number one contender for the United States Championship. And my God, Kevin Owens and AJ Styles are going to tear the roof off that pay-per-view. They're going to crush it. I'm super excited. There are lots of spots. They're both very athletic. They're both very creative. So this is going to be a main event. I thought the show kind of just moved on slowly, you know. It chugged along. It didn't really stop. It didn't really have any breaks. But it didn't really get going full blast either. I gave Raw an 8, and I still stand by that. It was an 8. For SmackDown, I would give SmackDown a 5. Not too bad, not too good. The overall underlying story of these two shows is Raw cherry-picked a shitload of talent from SmackDown, and it kind of almost looks like Vince is like, well, Raw's ratings are down, so we need to pull all these stars over here because all the casuals know who they are. And then SmackDown, you know, you guys are so good, you can just turn nothing into something all the time. So we'll just give you all the medium talent. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, Raw is definitely built for a super strong run going forward. They didn't really lose. They lost Kevin Owens and they lost Charlotte. So I mean, Raw gained so much more than they lost, and we shall see if the SmackDown magic is actually real, because they're definitely working with a little less ingredients than Raw is. I mean, Raw's working with an all-you-can-eat buffet, and you know, SmackDown's working with a nice home-cooked meal, but we'll see. Alright, guys, and that's all I have for you. Was it, you know, like I said, it was just your chug-along show. It was a 5. It was standard. Not too good, not too bad. Not a lot of memorable matches. The match of the night would definitely be American Alpha and the Usos. Um, Go back and watch that, man. Go back and watch that count. American Alpha's definitely got screwed on that, or the referee is going to get fired or suspended or something, because American Alpha's definitely got that 3 count. You see the arm, and then you hear the 1, 2, 3. So go back and watch that. American Alpha's got screwed. Alright guys, well if you enjoyed this show, be sure and click that like button, be sure and subscribe to us. We do shows every Monday Night Raw, we cover Smackdown on Tuesdays, and we do all pay-per-views. Eventually, Jay will do his Battle of the Brand show tomorrow, so I'm off for a little bit so I can get some sleep. And so I hope you guys enjoy Jay's show tomorrow, and until next time, you guys, see ya.